Welcome back to the Crochet Credits with my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Flora Afghan. We're going to do the Lilies in August. This is August 2019's version. So let's open up our book, and what we have here is Lilies in August, and here is the instructions. So it's a 2-pager, and you can see front and back here, and I'm going to be walking you through here. Now this picture is an option, but I'm also going to give you an option of being tucked, and I'll explain that, and that's also listed here in the instructions. So if you remember earlier on in these clues, what we had is this version here, and this was a particular idea, and I realized that if you don't tuck some of these petals, then what happens is they fall to the back side, and I've explained that before. So by tucking it, you prevent the leaves from falling to the back. Here I've also tucked it. So when I did the remake of this one in this size, I decided to tuck the petals, which is today's pattern that we're going to do, and these petals will never fall to the back side. So when I pull it up, and you can see it, so I've left in all my tails, you can see that it will not fall to the back side. So I'm going to just show you a little quick video. I opened up an Afghan because I did a whole Afghan just of these, and I want to show you what you're in for if you decide not to tuck, and that's something that you can decide for yourself. Show you something. So I just laid this out on the floor, and what I want to show you with this particular clue that we're going to do, you see how these petals are kind of falling below? That's because they're not tucked. So what I decided to do in this particular square is give you options for untucked, which is this, and tucked, which will allow it to force it to stay sitting down and therefore never fall to the back. So if you pull this over, you can see that the leaves have fallen to the other side because of the hole that's created here. So if you do the tuck version, you can avoid this, and if you do the untucked version, this is what you have. So you can go through your blanket and move all these to the good side, and therefore it'll sit down. But if you don't want to have that impatience of doing so, it does look nice. These will stand up just like you see, but therefore you have to, when you do it, you have to stage it. So I just laid it out just as you see it here. You can see most of them are kind of falling to the back side, and that's the reality of untucked. So when you look at the untucked version, you'll see that all of these scale stitching that you see are just literally hovering. So they're not being tucked down and forced into position. So because of that, they can fall to the back side of the project. Here, because they're tucked, what we've done here is that I've had you tuck this particular one here, and when you tuck this one, it forces this one to sit down and this one also to force it to sit down. So you don't get the height necessarily that you would have in this one, but when you're maneuvering this one, and if you did a whole Afghan like this, you will never see it fall to the back side. You can see it has a bit of lift to it so that it will not come to the back side, and it's because it's tucked. So there's a lot of great options with this particular square that we're going to do today, and I want to talk about some of the design. So this particular square has a lot of lift, it has a lot of texture included. So I originally started off, and then I almost wondered if I was pointless to do some extra steps, but then what you end up doing is these little peekaboo little spaces that could really create the texture in this one. Of all the squares, this is my most favorite one. I think this was like the 5th design of the collection that I did. I really loved this particular concept. So it's a little slower to get started in the center because there's so much beautiful texture here, but then once we start expanding out, it gets awesome. Just like before, when we go to transition to a square, it's the same instructions as we had before. So it's the same counts, and then we go out to the outside and then match. So everything matches together. So what I'm going to do, we're going to use our Caron 1 pound yarn with a 6mm size J crochet hook, and what we're going to do is then we're going to get ourselves started. I'm just going to use random yarn for this one here. A great idea. I love this one. I was so inspired by this one. I did a whole Afghan just of this square on its own. So in this particular example, you need 3 of them for your Flora Afghan if you're following along exactly with that stitch along, and of course you can use as many colors or as little as you wish. So let's begin, and let's start off in the center. So what we have here is the pattern before we begin, and we have an untucked version instructions for round number 14 and a tucked version. You have to do one or the other. So when you turn it over, you will see that in round 14 you can do the untucked or the tucked, and we're going to do both of those options here on camera. We're then going to continue along, and round number 19 has a tucked version and untucked, so you have to choose one or the other. And what this is, if you look at the square, this one's not tucked. So what I'm suggesting to you in the tuck version is that when you do this round here, is that when you get very close to the top of this one, just with one stitch, just go through the middle section of the petal, and you can, it will hold that down. So here this one is not tucked. When you do that though, and I did one sample of that, is that it really will hold. So it'll hold here, here, here and here, and it will hold it completely in the center. So you have to decide what's gonna work for you, and of course you can try it at the time, and it's one of the last rows anyway, or rounds anyway, so you really can't go wrong. So let's begin. Let's begin round number 1. Start off with a slip knot and your size 6mm J hook. So you're going to begin and you're gonna chain 4. So it's like how you've already started the rest of them. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4. And insert the hook into the beginning chain way down here, and what I want you to do is put in 11 double crochets in there. So we're gonna do 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Noticing that I'm coming up over the straggler. This is, I believe, 10. We're just gonna recount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once you have all 12 done, so that includes that chain 4 space. So 1, 2, 3, or that includes that chain 4 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Slip stitch to the beginning chain and pull through. I'm gonna leave this color on for one more time as we begin round number 2. Let's begin round number 2. Chain up 3 counts as your first double crochet, and in the same one of the join I want you to put in another double crochet. So each one of these stitches all the way around will have 2 double crochets in them, so just do that and then meet me back here. Make sure that you don't fill in the extra joining space that is there. I'm going to show you how to cheat the system in order for you to have a nice closed area. It kind of breaks the rules of crochet, but that's the whole point of the tutorial. So just do 2 double crochets in each stitch, and I'll show you a cheating technique at the end of this. So I have one more stitch. It looks like there's 2, right? So this one that's here is the join. It looks like 2. So I'm gonna give you a little cheating technique. I want you in the last stitch to put 1 double crochet in first, and here's the cheating technique. I want you to put a 2 together using this stitch and the space, and that will fill that space in. So just wrap the hook and going into the space, pull, or going into the stitch, pull through 2. Now officially you would just yarn over and pull through the 2 and then join it with the slip stitch, but then you end up with this gap. So what I want you to do is wrap the hook going into the space, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3, and that will close that gap off, and then join it to the top of the beginning chain 3. And what that did is that it finished it so that it looks done. If you didn't do that, this here, right here, would be missing, and therefore you would have a gap. So let's now fasten this yarn off and let's begin round number 3. So let's grab a new color and start round number 3. So I'm just starting with the slip knot on the hook first. So what I want you to do is that I want you to pull it apart, and you notice that you have 2 double crochets in each of the stitches. What I want you to do is go into the space between 2 sets of 2. So here's a set and here's a set, and I want you to go right into a space so it's not a stitch. And I want you to go in there, and I want you to attach with the slip stitch and chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and in the same space I want you to put 2 more double crochet in there. So 1 and 2. So there's a total with the chaining that you just did plus those 2 gives you a total count of 3 double crochets. What I want you to do is just peel it apart, and this isn't a set, and I want you to go in between that set and this set here. See how they're in the same stitch below? So just put in 3 double crochets in these spaces between the sets, and I want you to do that all the way around. This is round 3. So again, just look, here's a set, there's a set, go in between, and just do that, and I will see you at the end of this round. This is round number 3. So I'm coming all the way around. I'm just going in between the 2 last sets, and it's 3 double crochets into each, oh sorry, into the space, and then I'm just going to join it with the slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 that you started with. We're gonna get rid of this color. This is round number 3. You should have 12 sets of these 3 double crochets. So please do that. I'll see you back here in just a moment. Get a new color. Let's play. So the next color I want you to do is an accent color. It's just kind of laying over top. So do something that's contrasting. It really makes that pop. Again, your creativity, your choice. So I'm gonna use purple here as my contrasting color. I'm gonna show you two ways to join. I'm gonna recommend the standing single crochet, which is not listed in the pattern, but it's a technique that you can use. So I'm going to show you the regular way. So you just go in between the sets of 3 just in a gap space, and then you will join it with a slip stitch, chain 1, and single crochet. Now when you do that, it never looks right. It always looks like it's out of place. So what I want to show you is that's the regular way. Here's the standing single crochet. So put your loop onto the hook first, and then going into a space, and then yarning over into the hook, but pull through, and do not pull through the first loop. Then yarn over, pull through 2, and there is your standing single crochet. So to do this, the rest of this round is just chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then come in between the next spaces of these grouping of 3 and single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then in between the space single crochet. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 4. To finish off round number 4, I'm in the last space here, chain 3, and then just slip stitch it to the beginning single crochet and fasten off. And now just weave in your tails in the chain. You can bury that in. You're gonna go right up over top of this chain in another round, so that you can just weave it in a little bit, and therefore it'll get stuck in a position. So just make sure you're weaving in your ends as you go, and therefore you won't have a lot of cutting to do at the end, like a lot of darning needle work. Now this is the starting strand, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep that tucked in, so when I go to crochet over this chain, I'm gonna keep that underneath as well. So that is a little idea. So let's move on to round number 5. Let's move on to round number 5, starting with the slip stitch or slip knot as always. So I want to come to a chain 3 space to begin. So what you can just do is that you can join it and then chain 1 and then single crochet in, or you can do a standing single crochet, which looks better. So I'm just gonna show you standing. So just yarning over, sorry, put the slip knot on the hook, pull through, and then pull through the 2. And there is 1 of 5. So in each of these chain 3 spaces I want 5 single crochets. So this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. So once you get your 5 done, see how I went up over top of the straggler, so I won't have to use a tapestry needle. Just jump to the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're gonna do that all the way around, and when you come to these ones here, just lay it down over top of the chain so that it gets stuck underneath, and therefore you won't have to sew that in later either. So just 5 single crochets in each of the chain 3 spaces going around. So I came all the way around, there's 5 here. I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. In this case I'm gonna keep this color going, but in the instructions I have you fastening off, and you're gonna start in the middle stitch of the grouping of 5. So if you're gonna keep the color, just slip stitch over to the middle one of the grouping of 5. It's the third one over, and then begin from there. If you're going to as I said, fasten off, that's where you're gonna begin. Let's begin round number 6. So round number 6 has an extended single crochet in the front post, but we gotta get ourselves started first. So we're gonna chain up 3 counts as your first double crochet. In the same one that you're coming out of, I want you to put in 4 double crochets in there. So that gives you a total counting of 5 with that chain 3 that you started with. Okay, so there's your 5. So chain 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you're going to do an extended single crochet, and it's gonna go around this purple post here. So to do that, you're just gonna insert the hook in behind the post here, and you're just going to pull through and give it a bit of slack, and then pull through the 2. So that's an extended single crochet around the front post here. So now come to the middle one of the next grouping of 5 and do 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then do an extended single crochet around this purple post. So just going in, pull through, give it a bit of slack, try to get the same kind of slack that you had already, pull through the 2, and then begin again. So come to the middle one, do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then extended single crochet around this purple post. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 6. So I'm coming up all the way around. I got my 5 double crochets. Do not forget to do extended single crochet around that final post, and then just join it to the top, or the chain 3 that you started with, and that will conclude that round, round number 6. So let's get rid of this yarn, and you're gonna see that this is starting to lift off. So if you look at it from this point of view, it's starting to raise. So let's begin round number 7. So let's get rid of this yarn and start something new. So round number 7 is what's really gonna make this start to lift up and down. So here we go, round number 7. So let's start off with a slip knot first. I want you to come to any of the front post extended single crochets and use that. So just going in behind the post, and let's attach that, and you're just gonna pull through and then just chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now in the same one, what we need to do is that we need to put in 4 more double crochet front posts around the same post. So just go right up over top of the straggler so you can bury it, and let's just count those out together. So this is number 1, 2. Notice how I'm going in the down direction, like down the post, to make, because that's the only way you can fit that many in. And so there will be a total count of 5 when it comes to the end. So the chaining of 3 that you started with plus the 4 gives you a count of 5. Once you get that in and you've covered over your straggler as you did it, you can get rid of the straggler. So make sure you bury that as you go. So now what we're going to do is that we're gonna single crochet now in the middle double crochet of the next petal here. So just single crochet, and that will hold that into position. So now you'll notice that this covered over the dropping of that, so that was kind of intentional. So now let's begin again. So you're going to come into this front post extended double crochet and extended single crochet, and you're gonna front post double crochet 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then once you get the 5th one done, you just single crochet to the middle petal of the next one, and that'll hold it back. Do you see that? So you really can see the lift is happening. So let's go one more time. Extended single crochet, you're going to put in 5 front post doubles there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then single crochet in the middle petal. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 7, and you can see that the lift is starting to really happen, and it'll look like that in the back, and it'll really nicely settle in a few rounds. So coming up around on number 7, so I've done my final single crochet. You're just gonna attach. So what I need you to look at is that this will be appearing to lift off. Don't worry about it. It will settle down as we're continuing along. So if you're seeing it lift like that, that's part of the design. Go with it, folks. No, seriously, it is. So this is kind of how you have texture, and you know, you have to play with it, and sometimes it just needs an opportunity for another few rounds in order for that to go. So this round kind of forced this other round to kind of tuck up underneath this section here, so you can see that it has a slight lift, just like you see, and you can see that from the back side as well. So let's continue now to round number 8. So as we start round number 8 is going to be kind of matching the same color of the petals. So round number 8, 9 and 10 are the same color. It doesn't state that in the instructions. That is something that you can decide for you. You can actually see in the pattern as well, is that when you look at it from this point of view, you see that this 8 and 9 were a different color than the petals. You can do that you can do that too. It's up to you. That's kind of the way it was written. So let's begin round number 8. So round number 8, I want you to do a standing single crochet. By now you should know how to do it. So just going into any one of the stitches, just start off at a single crochet stitch, and then just join it with the standing. So pull through, and then you have 2 loops on the hook. Just pull through both, and that's just your first one of them. So what I want you to do is just 1 single crochet in each, and I want to show you a cheating technique for jumping over the gapping space that exists when you do a joining. Okay, so it's coming up right here. You see that it kind of looks abnormal, so we can figure out how to get rid of that so it looks a lot nicer. So go into this single crochet, and then go into the gap space as well. So just going in, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops, and therefore you filled in that gap space and satisfied the first single crochet. You're just gonna continue then to do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. You don't have to worry about that cheating technique anymore because it only exists once, and just do 1 single crochet in each stitch. And I'll see you at the end of round number 8. I'm coming up on the round of number 8 and just going into the last one here, and then just join it with the slip stitch to the beginning, and that's where we're gonna start the next one. So if you're gonna change color, this is where you're gonna start. It's the one directly over the single crochet that is in the round below. So let's begin round number 9. So in round number 9 we have to get these petals so that they can be held by something. So you see that there is wrapping around something. That's what we're gonna create in number 9. So let's begin, and we are going to then chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in the same stitch of the join. You're going to then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and in the same stitch as the join you're just gonna single crochet 1 more time. So that creates a loop that you'll be using next round in order to create the petals. You are going to crochet in the next 5, so single crochet, and to help you even further is that it's the ones that have the single crochet that is here that matches is where all these petals will appear. So, and those are 6 stitches away, so the 5's in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the next one is the one that you're supposed to be in. So you're gonna single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet in the same one, and then the next 5 in a row again. And so you're creating those little loops so you can use them in the future. You don't hear me counting right now. I don't need to. I trust in myself, and all I'm doing is that I'm looking for this single crochet that is existing, and it's gonna be a single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet, and there'll be a total of 12 of these points that will appear at the end of this round. So please do this. This is round number 9. So I'm coming up all the way around, and I need you to just single crochet and then join it to the first single crochet that you had, and this is part of that loop. So just do that. Now regardless of keeping the color or not, I need you to fasten off anyway. So we need to get ourselves restarted in a new section in order for the next petal to be sitting properly. So we're just gonna fasten that off. You can keep yellow, you can keep another color, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna use a different color just for the sake of doing so. This is just a sample piece for me, and I wanna show you what we can do, because we need to start off in the middle between these points. So it can be any one of them, but that's where we need to start in order to be successful. So let's move on to round number 10. So let's create a new slip knot, put it onto the hook. So right now we have a single crochet and on both sides, so include the ones in the loop, and you have a total of 7 of these single crochets that are in a row between the loops. Do you see that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to come to the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4th one is right in between this, and that's where you're going to join with the standing single crochet. Now here's what we're going to do, is that I want you to lay this straggler down on top so that you can hide that in as you go, and I want you to reach to this first loop. Now in the loop what you're going to do is you're going to do 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then chain 2. So 1, 2, and then in the same loop just kind of turn it a little bit, it's easier, and then put it in a 5. So you got 5 going up the loop, chain 2, and then 5 going down the loop, and you're creating your first petal in this series. So after that's complete, you come to the middle stitch that is existing. So it's the 4th one over. So if you need to count it, just do it 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go and count it either direction, it doesn't matter as long as it's the middle. And if you want to eye it up, you can probably do so as well. So just once you get that single crochet in, just jump to the next loop, do 5 double crochets up. So this is 2, 3, 4, and 5, and chain 2, and then go down the other side of that loop. So 1, just force it all in there, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then single crochet in the middle stitch. Okay, so it's the middle one, and then begin again. So please do this. This is round number 10, and you'll have 12 of these going all the way around. Okay, when you come all the way around, what I need you to do is that I need you to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and I need you to fasten off. So what we need to do is that I need to get rid of this color. So whatever petal color you're going to do next, you want that color to be the same as this next row. So we're not doing the petals next, we're doing the foundation of those petals, but you will see this next round with that petal. So you want to make sure that it's a color that kind of goes with it, if not the same color completely. So get rid of this color and let's move on then to round number 11. So let's begin that next. So let's begin round number 11. So 11, what we're going to do is that we're going to establish this new color, and this will be the new color of the petals. So you want to make sure the foundation kind of is matching it to a certain degree. Come into the single crochet and just use a standing single crochet to join, and then pull through the 2, and there's your first one. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and single crochet in the same one to create the first loop. Now we need to create these loops in between these petals. So to get there you need to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and watch what I do. Flip the petal forward and come to the single crochet, the next one. Okay, and single crochet in that one. Chain 3 and single crochet. So this chain 3 then will rest behind this petal. This is what causes those petals to sit up. Now these spaces here is what allows it to fall to the back side if you're doing the untucked version. So the petal can literally fall to the back, and we're gonna be addressing that when we do the tucked version. So to get to the next one over here, you chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Rotate the petal forward, single crochet, chain 3 to create the loop, and then single crochet in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, flip, single, chain 3, and single. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 11. So if you decide not to flip it forward, you can always just move these afterward, just in case it does fall to the back side by accident. So it's not a lost cause if you don't flip forward right away, but I'd recommend it because it's just one less step for the future. Let's finish round number 11. So I'm coming to the end of round number 11, and I'm just gonna flip forward and then just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet to join. So all these petals should be then forward. You can see that they're sitting up like this, and that's what makes that really nice look at the finish, but it's also what causes the idea to untuck it, just in case you're not doing it that way. So now we're going to begin, and we need to start off round number 12. Before we begin round number 12, we're in the wrong space. So what I want you to do is that I want you to fasten off. So what we need to do, remember how we moved before when we were in number 11? We have to do the same thing here. So just fasten off and just weave in the ends through this chain. And now we're gonna be beginning in the middle of this chain and then begin these petals. So let's start now. And so we're going to begin with a slip stitch, which is a standing single crochet you can do as well in this chain 4 space. It can be any one of them, but I would go around the first one just because we're there. So just loop. Okay, you got your 2, pull through. So now the petals are slightly different than what they were before. So the petals are gonna be in this chain 3 space, and so there's going to be 6 double crochets going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then chain 2, 1, 2, and then 6 going down that same one. So there's a little bit more in these chain 3 spaces. Okay, so there's 6 going up, chain 2, 6 going down. So you're just gonna single crochet then around this next chain 4 space, noticing that I'm grabbing the stragglers so I can hold those in a position and just single crochet around that chain 4 space and then begin again. So I'm just gonna grab these stragglers one more time just to kind of hold them around that loop and put 3 double crochets going, or sorry, 6 double crochets going up. So that was 1, 2, okay, so I got 6 going up, chain 2, and 6 going down. and 6. So there we go. So you can really start seeing now, see how these gapping spaces, these petals can fall in behind. So we're gonna be fixing that soon. So for the tucked version if you wish. So single crochet around the chain 4 space and then begin again. So 6 double crochets going up, chain 2, 6 going down, and then single crochet in the next chain 4 space. Please do that. This is round number 12. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 12 and I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet and I'm gonna fasten off this color. So the next 2 rounds will be the same color to be used because it'll be the final petal of the grouping of 3 that is existing here. And what we have here is I'm just gonna fasten off and we're gonna begin. We need to create the foundation row which will hold the next set of petals and then the next petals then will go into play and then I'm gonna show you the tucked version then in round number 14. But let's do round number 13 first. Let's decide our color and let's begin. Let's begin round number 13. I want you just to grab a single crochet that's existing between the petals and we're gonna create the foundation that will hold the next set of petals. And I want you to just use a standing single crochet into the single crochet that is existing between the petals and then chain 3 and then single crochet back into the same one. So you're creating the loops once again. So because the petals are getting bigger and the round is getting bigger, I want you to chain 5 this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip the petal, come to the next single crochet and then single crochet, chain 3 and single crochet in the same one. So you can see that it's all gonna start holding here and it's really quite awesome. So we're going to do this all the way around. So you chain 5 in between those single crochets, flip the petal. If you wanna go across the petal you can go across as well, no big deal. Chain 3 and then do that. Single crochet in there to create the loop and just you can just move the petal in and out of these spaces at this moment. So we'll be able to fix that in the tucked version but then we'll get there in just a moment. So please do this around for number 13. So I'm already at the end of round number 13 so I'm just going to join it with a single crochet and I know what you're thinking. Are you gonna fasten off? Absolutely. But you wanna keep this color in play but fasten off so you can reposition yourself. And I'm going to show you both the round 14s of the untucked and tucked version. And the untucked is what is in the original Flora Afghan, but I would really strongly consider doing the tucked version because at this point these things can just flip to the back side really quite easily. So what we can do in the tucked version is that we can prevent that by holding them into position with the tucked. So let's begin round number 14. Let's start with tucked, the untucked version first. So let's begin. To do the untucked version we want to come to this chain 5 space and we just want to attach it with a single crochet, standing single crochet as your first one. So then the first petal then is in the chain 3 here loop and you were going to then put in 2 trebles. So wrap the hook twice so it's even bigger petals. So 2 trebles. Okay, and then what we have is 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3 and then chain 2 and then coming back in. So you want 3 double crochets first and then finish the petal off with 2 trebles. So because this is the untucked version these will just rest here without any issues at all. So then you're just gonna just single crochet around the next chain 5 space. So by doing it this way then these petals will always be able to have an opportunity to fall out just like that. So if you like this version just go to your next chain 3 loop, do your 2 trebles, 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles, 2 trebles and then single crochet here. So let's do the tucked version. This is what I would recommend and this will hold everything into position. So watch what we do. So let's do the tucked version around number 14. Go to a chain 5 space and join it with a standing single crochet. So we've done that before. So what we want to do for the tucked version is that we wanted to do it so these petals don't fall out of position. So what you're gonna do then is that see this chain 3 loop? You're gonna play within that but you're going to play in the gapping space of the first set of petals that you had. So just bring the petal up and then put in 2 trebles first. So it's the same count for the petal size. So we're gonna do 1 treble and 2 trebles. So you're going through the top of the first petal that you started with and also that chain 3 loop that you created in the last round. Then you're going to put in 2 double crochets, sorry, 3 double crochet. Sorry about that. And then chain 2, and then coming into the same spot do it again. So you're gonna do 3 doubles going down, and then 2 trebles. So it's all within one section there. And then you just immediately come to the next chain 5 space, single crochet. So what this has done then is it's holding that first petal in. This one will hold, so because it's being sandwiched in, and it's awesome. So let's try again. So you're just gonna take this chain 3 loop and this front petal here and put it together. So just match the space of that petal with the chain 3 space of that one. Once you do the first one, it will hold. So you got 2 trebles going up, and then 3 doubles, 1, 2, and 3, and then at the top chain 2, and then coming down into the same spot it's gonna be 3 doubles, and then 2 trebles to finish. So this is holding everything you need in position so it doesn't fall out the back side. Pretty simple, right? And then come to the next chain 5 space and single crochet. So when you look at it from this point of view now, is that the front petal here is tucked into this one here. This one will still stay peeking out, and then what happens is that these will not fall to the back side. So you can decide what's right for you, untucked or tucked. This is round number 14. So when you come all the way back around, you are just going to single crochet, sorry, you already did your single crochet in the chain 5 space. You're going to join with the single crochet that's in the chain 5 space. So you can keep this color on if you wish. This next color is pretty much invisible, so I'm just gonna keep it on just because I want to. And I'm gonna chain up 1, and I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the same single crochet. I'm going to then chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm just gonna flip this forward and then go into the next single crochet on the other side. So this chain 7 is smaller than this petal here, so it wants to stay in behind once you leave it there. So you just chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then flip the petal forward. You can do it in front too and just move it to the front side. It's up to you, and please do that all the way around. This is round number 15. So once you come all the way back around, you got your chain 7 just joined to the beginning single crochet with the slip stitch, and then just weave in this edge, sorry, this end with that last chain you just did, and you're gonna bury that. So the next round, what we're gonna do is the final round before we start beginning the transition to the square like we have with all the rest of these Flora Afghan squares. And so I'm going to change to a new color and just make sure that everything's looking good at this point, and let's continue then into round number 16. So I'm currently looking at the back of the square. No big deal, you just got some ends to weave in. So I'm looking for these chain 7 spaces, and we're gonna be playing within those in order to create this. This is such an easy round, it's not even funny. So we're just going to join to a chain 7 space and just join it with the slip stitch, and then chain 3. So that counts as your first double crochet. So each one of these chain 7 spaces have 9 double crochets altogether. So with the chaining of 3 plus 8 double crochets, that gives you 9. So I want you to kind of just start off and say that you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These will balance themselves out. So you see it's kind of pooling in the middle of that chain 7 space. It will pull together. So once you get 9 done there, just move to the next space and put in another 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So because you're crocheting around the chain, these can move at any time. You see that? So they will move and reposition themselves to be better spaced. So 9 double crochets in each one of these chain 7 spaces. Let's finish off round number 16. Just slip stitch to the beginning of the chain 3 that you started with. So it was just easier just to turn this over to access that chain 7, but just don't keep in mind that you are not crocheting in the wrong side. You were just it was just a way that you positioned it. So let's begin the transition to the corners, and so it's the same as what we already know with the other ones. There is an untucked and tucked version that we have, but let's start off with the very first one. So let's just continue the same color and let's begin. So I just flipped it to the right side just so it's easier for you to visualize. So what we have is that we're gonna chain 4, which counts as your first treble. So 1 2 3 4, and you're going to treble again into the same stitch. So wrap the hook twice and into the same treble. So this is 1/2 of the first corner. So let's begin, and we're going to then create a flat side. So to do that, here's what we're going to do, and you can reverse the video back because I'm not going to do every side. So I'm just going to show you the repeat. So you're just going to do 1 treble in the next, and this is in the pattern as well, and then we have 3 double crochets in a row. So 1 2 and 3, and then 5 double crochets in a row. So we have 1 2 3 4 and 5. Now we're going to do 8 single crochets in a row. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. And now we're gonna get bigger again as we head to the next corner. So there will be 5 half double crochets in a row. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. Then 3 doubles. So 1 2 and 3, and then finally to finish before the corner is 1 treble. So you notice exactly where we are. So we're at the end of a grouping of 9, and the treble then the corner begins in the next one, if that helps you visualize. So to do a corner, it's 2 trebles into the same stitch, chain 2, and 2 more trebles into the same stitch. So you've officially turned, and I'm gonna take you through one more side just so that you get it, and once you understand this, it actually gets really quite easy, and all the squares have the same transition, so it's easy too. So let's begin. We're gonna do 1 treble and then 5 doubles, sorry, 3 doubles. That's 3, and then 5 halves, 5 half doubles. So 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then we have 8 singles. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. Now we're gonna get bigger again, so there's gonna be 5 halves. So 1 2 3 4 5, and then 3 doubles. So 1 2 and 3, and there's just one more stitch left before you can see the transition to the next grouping of 9, and that'll be 1 treble, and then you'll begin a new corner. So the corners are 2 trebles, chain 2, 2 trebles, and then you begin again, and you can see that this is gonna start turning square on you. And let's continue that, and just reverse this video if you need to review the sides once again. So I'm just coming up all the way around, and I'm putting in my last treble in there, and then don't forget I still have to do the first corner. I have to finish it, so you have to put in 2 trebles in the first one that you started with, and then followed by what do we have here? What did I state? So we are going to then just join with a half double crochet join to the top of the first. So to do that, just wrap the hook and going into the top of the chain 4, and then pull through, and then pull through all 3, and that is your chain 2 space just there. That keeps you right in the center for that, just in case you're wondering. So we're going to then begin round number 18. So round number 18 is the second portion to get this more square, and let's begin to do that. We're gonna chain up 3, and that will count as a double crochet, and we're gonna double crochet in the same join. Okay, so now let's follow this across. So you're gonna do 3 doubles in a row. 1, 2 and 3, then 3 half double crochets in a row. So 1, 2 and 3, and then what we have is 18, I believe 18 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So 18's in. So now the next 3 are halves. So 1, 2, 3. The next final 3 are going to be doubles. So 1, 2 and 3, and then the corner is going to be 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. And I'm gonna review this side or another side one more time, so you can reverse the video back if you need to. Here we go. We're gonna start off with 3 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, then 3 halves. So 1, 2, 3. Now 18 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Once you have that done, then 3 halves. So 1, 2, 3, and then 3 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, and then a new corner. So it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So please do that all the way around. This is the 18th round, and you can see that it's getting more square, and I will see you at the end of this round. So I'm just coming up to the final ending of this round. This round number 18, and then we have 19 to go through with this either a tucked or an untucked version. I was thinking about that when I was doing this, so let me just finish off. The last space has 2 double crochets, and let's just join that with, let me just say what I said there for a second. It's a join with a half double crochet. So wrap the hook, go into the top of the chain 3, and then just pull through and through everything, and there is your space. So I learned that technique from Jeannie. So I was thinking about the tucked or untucked version. There's really quite easy. There's a lot of words, but truly there's only 4 differences, which is really quite simple. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use the same color as the final petals that you had, and therefore the tucked version will not look so obvious. So let me show you what it looks like. I actually found one here on my desk. So this here is a tucked version. See how it kind of looks a little out of place? It's not a deal breaker, but it holds it and it's more stable versus another thing that is not tucked, just like you see. So it's up to you on the way that you want to do it. So you can decide to do that. If you use the same color when you go to tuck it, it will not be even obvious that it's there, but again, that's your call. You can decide what's right for you. So round number 19. So we're gonna do both versions. They're really quite simple either way, so it's just a matter of just showing you something. So I'm gonna go into a space, join it, chain 3 counts as your first double, and then double crochet into the same space. So you have a total of 2. Now you're gonna do 1 double crochet in each all the way across if it's a untucked version, and if it's a tucked, what you want to do is you want to look for when you get close to where the middle of the side is, and it's where the petal naturally wants to rest. So you're looking at it from this point of view. So it's around here somewhere where it naturally wants to sit. So you're just gonna double crochet yourself across, Again, your colors, your choice, your creativity. So I thought the tucked would be a little bit better just to hold that into the center a little bit better, but again you can decide what works for you. You'll know what you want to do just by eyeing it up. So I'm not counting stitches, I'm just eyeing it. I'm pretty close though, so I'm just gonna lay it down, just see where it naturally falls, and it's the next one. So just go into space of the petal, and so wrap the hook first, go into the space of the petal and into the same double crochet like the next one, and then just double crochet as normal, and that will hold that into position as you go. And because it's purple, it's not so obvious that it's there, and that will keep it from wanting to shift anywhere around this, because if you turn it over you can see it's kind of almost floating. So that's a way to hold the floating so that it always stays in position. So you're just gonna do 1 double crochet in each of the stitches all the way to the corners of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So whether you're untucking or tucking, it doesn't really matter. It's still the same stitch work really, except for if that you are tucking, you just have to make sure that you just go through the top of the petal in order to hold it. So your call, your decision, and let's finish off round number 19. So I'm coming up all the way around. I got one more round to do. It's the final round, round number 20. This is the most rounds of all of the squares. This is probably the best square that I like out of the whole collection. You're going to put your 2 in the final and then just join it with the half double crochet join. So let's begin final round. Just do this color. Usually I keep those colors, the final rounds, the same color, so that when you sew your Afghan together that all of the square edges look the same color. That's your call, your creativity, as we've mentioned before. When I say we, I mean me. So let's continue then into round number 20 and let's finish this off. So let's begin the final color. You can choose any color. It's up to you, your creativity. So just come into a chain 2 space. That could be a half double crochet join 2, doesn't matter which one it is. Just do a standing single crochet and just pull that through so you have 1 of 5. So each of the corners are gonna have 5 single crochets. So that was number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then essentially every stitch across then is going to be 1 single crochet. So round number 20 is just really quite simple. So 1 single crochet in each stitch, corners are 5 single crochets, and then that's it. So what I'll do is I'll see you at the end of this round. This is round number 20, the final, and then you fasten off, get rid of all your loose ends, and that will conclude today's square. This is the Lilies in August, and I'll see you at the end of this round. When you get all the way back around, just join with the single crochet to the first single, or sorry, with the slip stitch to the first single crochet, and weave in your ends and get all that stuff done. Use a tapestry needle to have the best possible look. Let me just quickly review that. If you have to do anything with the project for tapestry, this is the best way to doing it. Just feed your needle, turn it to the back side, just flip it, and just glide it into the same coloring a total of 3 times. So you got once, and then go second time, and finally third. So back and forth 3 times is what it takes, and therefore you'll have a nice finished spot. Do that with anything that you have not tucked in and hidden as you go, and this will be the conclusion of this particular square. So this is the Lilies in August. You can see it doesn't really look so lily-ish at this moment, but it's actually pretty neat, and it's really, you can have a lot of fun. You can do 3 squares for these for your flora. You can even use this whole thing to make a particular Afghan if you want to as well. Just join them together just with the whip stitch join, and just do a nice simple border, because really all the work is in the border itself. Have a good day, and we hope to see you again next time.